Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipniewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Okay, now this is the first time I have a little bit of background music going with my StreamYard. Please let me know what you think about it. Today, we're going to talk about the dark side of Crypto X. You know what I'm talking about? Those influencers who sit there on X all day and shill different crap coins, some that rug pull a few days later, and even influencers here on YouTube. Now, I know you guys know a lot of us get paid for content. Certain projects hit us up, hey, talk about what project. I don't think you mind. I don't think you care. As long as the people are transparent, as long as you're making a video for money and you let your audience know, oh, and by the way, this is a paid video. This particular project has hired me to introduce to you, my audience, this crypto project, and let's go through it together. This is what it's about. Blah, blah, blah. I think as long as people are transparent, you guys understand. It's a job, right? We're just here marketing and talking about different things. I think you get it. I think where it becomes annoying and aggravating is when people are not transparent, when people are pretending to be fellow investors that got into this project super early and let's take it to the moon, guys. I think people get upset when you do it clandestine like that, right? So for the past few days on Twitter, there's been, all kinds of stuff going back and forth because it got leaked that there's like this core group of a couple of guys who have been paid to shill some crypto projects and they never fess up to it. They're like, hey man, yeah, we're just investors and we're looking to, help our parents retire. And we're over here living the dream and we want to bring you on our journey. So we're telling you about these crypto projects. This blew up a few days ago. Now we have Zach XBT, who is known as a blockchain sleuth, or as he refers to himself, rug pull survivor turned 2D detective. What he did was put it into a nice and exact story, a nice little timeline. So we're just going to go through this timeline to give you an example of how exactly it's done, how exactly it works, and how a couple of these people work in tandem to basically rip off a community that has a dream like, okay, whoof, I got into this one nice and early. There might be just a couple of hundred investors. It's a very small market cap. Like, if this goes someplace, there's a chance that I can grow with it and maybe 10x my money to the moon. Let's go. Part one, and once again, this is by Zach XBT. I'm going to leave a link for his X down in my description. I really think you should follow him because he does come out with some really interesting stories. He's the one that noticed the movement of tokens over on Pepe, which is just diving hard. Part one. Break down into how Trader NJ1 and Petabyte Capital have deceived multiple projects by leveraging the names of other influencers to obtain free tokens from CBOT and BabyShiB to dump on followers undisclosed. So here's a screenshot from a Telegram where one of these guys is telling the developer of BabyShiB, hey, me and this other guy, we work in tandem with a group of people and we can get all of these guys online to start, making zeets about it and promoting it. And we could get this baby to the moon. So he gives this list of crypto influencers. And by the way, it just winds up being two of them, the Trader NJ and Petabyte Capital. But he lists a bunch of other people that maybe he doesn't even know, right? Like, he's probably not even friends with these guys, but let's see what he says. All in all, we could potentially reach up to 2.6 million organic followers, and many of these guys are our personal friends in real life. Not just even on X, but he knows all these dudes in real life. Can assure you they'd be willing to get on board on our say-so. These are the best value names in terms of people that have altcoin targeted or mainstream related audiences. For this kind of deal, it would be roughly 5 to 6% of the supply, unless you're willing to bring the list of names down. So it's 0.5% to 1% each is roughly industry standard. So they're saying, hey, give us a certain percentage of your entire token supply to get all of these guys going. Can you believe it? And he doesn't even know half these guys. Here's another screenshot. Hey, did you pay some influencers some tokens that ended up dumping? It looks like Trader NJ and others dumped on everyone. And then, yeah, we sent 8% of the supply total to NJ, PETA, SZ, and others. And yep, they did dump most of the almost like 1 or 2% is left. So they dumped almost all of the tokens that they were sent. Part 2. Recently, this audio clip of Trader NJ surfaced asking for a percentage of the CBOT token supply to shill with PETA and others, saying they will make tweets saying a project is the next 10 to 20x. So fortunately, somebody had the foresight to screenshot this and record it. So let's go ahead and listen to it.
So now it's time to get the rest of the team onboarded, all right? Now, what we're going to need to do is I'm going to need an additional 2%, okay? We're going to get PETA properly in, and we're going to try and onboard SC and XO today, all right? Now, I'm not going to be able to get SC and XO to tweet now. They won't be able to. Maybe at 2 million market cap or something, we can say, look, we picked up a bag of this. This could be the next sort of 10, 20x. Do you know what I mean? But until then, let's get them onboarded. We're going to see if we can onboard Wizard as well. That's going to cost a little bit as well. I know you mentioned that you only have 1.5% of the supply, but would you be able to acquire more?
Oh my goodness. So there you go. Like, if the guy gives him all of the tokens, now he's running out of tokens. This guy wants him to buy more tokens to send to the influencers. It is unbelievable that they, left that as a message. Like, that is so incriminating. Didn't he think that that was going to be captured and saved for evidence? Okay, part 3, BabyShib. In Telegram messages provided by the BabyShib team, it shows conversations with PETA and NJ discussing marketing for 3.5% of the supply. They even claim to have no intentions of selling anything anytime soon. NJ PETA provide both wallets to receive the tokens. Let's see what this one says. We have no intentions of selling. Oh, they're so innocent. Anything anytime soon. If we were, it would be at a certain market cap targets, and we would inform you of our strategy to DCA on the way upwards. I'm looking at $100 million market cap just as a first initial target. We have a chance of reaching $1 billion market cap, and I believe in that. See what he's doing to the developer? He's literally instilling FOMO into the developer. Like, hey, we won't even consider selling this until we reach $100 million market cap, because we're going to $1 billion market cap. So when a developer hears that, and especially these people are saying that they were a core part of the Floki team, it probably is really convincing to these people, right? The only issue is that the price could be substantially different in 6 days once we start pushing. Just so you know, we're not specifically in this for the money, although it is a bonus. Really? You're not doing it for the money? Then why take any? If you're not doing it for the money, then don't take it. As of the co-founders behind Floki, I was a full-time part of the project for 8 months straight, working day in, day out. We ran from $4 million market cap to $3.5 billion, realizing a liquid 800x return at the top, an 8-figure profit. That's crazy. If all of that is true, then why bother doing it? And of course, then he supplies the wallets that they need to send the tokens to. This is part 4. This is August 25th. PETA and NJ begin receiving BabyShib as compensation and began heavily shilling on Twitter, shortly hyping it up. August 30th, so just 5 days later, they began unloading all of the tokens, selling $115,000 worth over the next few days, even though it was still at a very low market cap. So remember, they already said they weren't going to sell anything until it at least hit $100 million market cap, and they were going to drive this baby up to a billion. So these are some of the Zeets that they put out for the shilling. So this is Trader NJ. I'm really liking Baby Shib. It's giving me Floki vibes. Seen it being shilled online, and I missed out on Baby Doge, which pulled 5 to 600x. This might have legs. Sharing our chart to show entry, low cap gems or games continue, and this is the two of them basically hyping it up. And meanwhile, they've been paid and they're not sharing that they've been paid, which is the problem. They're not being transparent about that at all. Part 5, I don't do paid, this is PETA by the way. I don't do paid promotions and never have. These Telegram messages in Baby Shiv received as compensation says otherwise. There's nothing to disclose. This is a screenshot of a Zeet from Petabyte. There's nothing to disclose. If I bought my bags on the open market, I bought in at $300,000 market cap. I don't do paid promotions and never have. PETA is a real success story, believe it or not. Again, I'm not US based, and there is a disclaimer on my profile. There is nothing to disclose. Part 6, in this message received from BabyShib team, they outlined how NJ and PETA had not followed the original deal as they did not onboard SZ or XO to the market project, did not make YouTube videos, and sold almost immediately after they got the tokens. This is crazy. And this is what the devs put out to their followers. We made a deal with Petabyte, the co-founder of Floki, and Trader NJ for both their full support on the project. They said they would do the following as part of the deal. Announce Petabyte is officially in part of the core team. This was not done. A number of YouTube videos supporting the project, bringing on 8 influencers that work closely with Petabyte. The list is in the screenshot attached. The terms of the deal included the tokens would not be sold at the current market cap, and they would be sold very slowly and would be informed before any of the sales so that we could mitigate them and strategize around them. Here's the second screenshot. We explain, oh, I just can't get a handle of this laptop. We explained that the deal would have to be honored since this was practically the majority of the team's reserve tokens and would mean we would be limited in terms of marketing we could do if we went ahead. He assured us all the conditions would be met. After the payment, both Petabyte and Trader NJ tweeted once or twice each. They just did 1 or 2 Zeets each. The other YouTube videos were never made. The announcement of him joining the team was never made. And the influencers he assured would be pushed. I just can't get this thing. Would push us to, had no awareness of any of the deals. So they didn't push it either. We politely chased up for approximately 9 days because in that time we had no further communication other than we're busy, we'll start soon. At the same time, he heavily promoted another project, Sheep, and kept continuously selling the tokens after we asked him to hold on from selling so much at key resistance and support levels. Then they blocked us. Can you imagine? You send these two dudes a huge portion of the supply of your tokens because they're telling you, hey, when we worked at Floki, we had a group of influencers. We worked day and night. We promoted it, and we got it from this small little market cap and drove it all the way up here. And, that's what we're going to do for you. And they just throw out a couple Zeets, no YouTube videos, no other influencers coming in. And that's it. They got paid 115,000 and they only put out a few Zeets. So that's like 50,000 per person. So 25,000 a Z. That's some good that's some good easy money right there, right? That's pretty good. And this part 7 is going to be from the CBOT guy. In a recent post by the CBOT dev, they revealed there was a similar deal to BabyShib where NJ PETA asked me for a percentage of the supply and promised to onboard influencers as well. PETA eventually left the chat and NJ supposedly deleted the message history. And here's just a letter that the developer shared from uh, CBOT, who's Icarus. NJ first approached me when our market cap was at 300,000. He showed interest in the project, offered to bring himself and PETA on board as advisors. They promised to assist with marketing in exchange for 3% of the tokens. After we agreed and paid them, they began delaying their promotional tweets. A few days later, when I requested a promotional tweet, they insisted on waiting until after we were listed on CoinMarketCap, which sometimes people like to have that happen. They want to see you get listed on CoinMarketCap first because a lot of people rely on CoinMarketCap to do their due diligence, to go check it out and find out some information, see if there's any news articles or what's going on. I understand that, right? But that just wasn't what they were waiting for. As days went by, NJ asked for more tokens to bring in XOSC, as revealed in the leaked audio. We had to buy back a substantial amount of tokens to pay them an additional 4% since there were no more team tokens. For a short period, they actively promoted the project in active and group chats. However, they were also steadily selling off their tokens. Their frequent sales were significantly contributing to our project's downtrend. Even our buybacks were being used as exit liquidity. PETA left the group chat and NJ deleted the chat history. The most recent sell from their side was a dump of 1.2% of the tokens at a $550,000 market cap yesterday. Hopefully, this clears up the drama and misinformation. Positives from all this drama, if there's anything positive to be seen from this drama, but I understand they've got to make it look shiny. They got to polish it up and try to put a shine on it. The community is stronger than ever. No more sell pressure since they're out of tokens, and the product, it's getting better every day. Part 8, and this is just one of those bubble maps where you can track a wallet's activity. These are the tokens that got sent to these wallets, and you can see they started selling shortly thereafter, and they do this all the time. This is what's called a pattern. When somebody does something over and over again, it's called a pattern. Part 9, nowhere in their shill tweets did either Trader NJ or Petabyte disclose they were compensated with a percentage of the token supply. Here is another audio of this guy, Trader NJ, where he's like, no, I don't get paid to shield the tokens. So let's go ahead and listen to this.
We've got questions already in the chat saying, are you a paid shill? No, I'm not a paid shill. Okay, I'm not a paid shill. I get my tokens. I do my research. I do my research before I share it. This is not a pumponomics type of shill. We've got questions.
It 100% is. Okay, anyway. So that was that one. Now let's go down to part 10. He's just blatantly lying to everybody. Just blatantly lying because you know why? He doesn't care. That's why. Part 10. It's clear their strategy here is deceptive here as they act like they were not compensated by projects, act like they bought into the projects themselves, use other influencers' names to get a percentage of the supply, and lie to the projects and play victim when they get caught. So here's one of the zeets that Petabyte pulled out after they got busted, right? Like, hey, dude, we're on to you. Now we know. So this is what PETA says. BabyShib team turned out to be a bunch of blackmailers, and they'll do the same to any influencer who does them wrong. Did he just have a brain fart and admit his guilt right here? They'll do the same to any influencers who does them wrong. So he admitted he did them wrong and they're just getting you back. Does he realize that's what he wrote? It's very obvious who's received team tokens. They offer tokens like candy. I personally exited at the bottom, not the top, after being blackmailed by them. Well, yep, that's why we have, and Zach XBT goes ahead and lists all the different wallets that were sent tokens, and we can see when they got the tokens and when they sold the tokens. And here's another little map where you can see it. So that's basically it. That's the dark side of that, and I do so very much enjoy when these guys get called out. So I just want to show. This is the chart for the baby shib. So I think they said they started popping it like before August. So August 25th, I think, is when they started to really shill it. And that, there's look, a wick way up here at 3 cents. That's probably where they started dumping it, right? And then it's all the way down here. There's 2 zeros. And let's just check out the other one. So this is I just want to make sure that's the right one. CBOT, the CBOT one. Notice how they have that similar chart pattern, like it gets pumped really high and then it dumps out. So you can see this is probably where these guys started to shill it, like down here. Listen, they do have a lot of followers. That's the thing, right? Like if we go over to Trader NJ and check him out, he's got the 71,000 followers. So he's got 71,000 people believing in him and following him because he's the one that told that nice story. Oh, I just want to make sure my parents can retire. And Petabyte, he's got 57,000 followers as well. But listen, here's his disclaimer. Tweets do not constitute financial advice. Crypto connoisseur and investor co-founded a multi-billion-dollar meme project. Memes rule the world. And of course, he's talking about Floki. Let's read it, the description over here on Trader NJ. Not financial advice. They all put that. He's from London. Oh, he's got something pinned. Let's read his little pinned tweet here. I've made big money because of your microcaps. Most people out here don't know how to take profit and when to enter. That's why so many are disappointed. I'm happy if you're not recognizing that you've made some mistakes. I still look forward to microcaps you share. So here's the thing. These guys know what they did. They know they did dirty. They knew that they weren't investors themselves. It is really one thing if somebody bought those tokens and then sold out, but they got sent those tokens because they asked for a certain percentage of the entire token supply. You need to be transparent. And it just bothers me because so many people out there are always going to be other people's exit liquidity. And, we've been in this game long enough to know who those people are. It's the people that are brand new onto the scene. And what we don't want is so many people to get rugged and hurt and burned that it's going to cause the SEC to step in. You don't want the long arm of the law stepping into our crypto space because right now, we've kind of been a little bit anarchist. We've been running things ourselves and it's the bad actors on the scene that are going to wind up ruining it for everyone. So please, just because you're following somebody on X and they seem to have a lot of followers and they're always talking about, I've been involved with this billion-dollar project, follow me, trust me, chances are they're being paid by somebody to shill something. So just pump the brakes. Whenever you see somebody shilling something, do yourself a favor and go check out the chart. You know what? As a matter of fact, let's go back to this other chart. I just want to show you something. Okay, so this project right here, which is the BabyShib, has almost 3,000 holders. The market cap is 1.8, but the liquidity is only 246,000. That's it. And they said it was significantly higher before, right? So they just started dumping, but they said that they were going to push this to $1 billion. I mean, come on. $1 billion and it's only at $246,000. This is just a sad little situation here. I don't know what they were trying to do with BabyShib. I don't know anything about it. Do they have a website? Let's check out to see if they have a website here. BabyShibaInu. You know, these little tokens here, they don't, they're just meme coins. They're lottery tickets. But I think the CBOT one, that has something. I'm not sure what that does. Well, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to end it here. This is plenty long enough. This was just a cautionary tale for you. Just because somebody, you like them on X, it seems like they're up on the game. They know what they're talking about. They claim to be involved in a project that's worth billions. Doesn't mean it's worth billions because of them. It just happened to be worth billions, and they got some tokens out of the deal. Sounds like that's the situation with these two guys. So just make sure to put them on your radar so that you know who they are. And again, down below, I'm going to leave the link for Zach XBT. Keep up with that guy because he really does drop alpha a lot. Like he's the guy that dropped the alpha on Pepe. And Pepe, before I leave, we got to do the Pepe chart again because it's a bad one, right? Let's go back to this one. Let me hit up Pepe. It took another dump. It's been dumping like crazy lately. So you remember when I made my first video and I was like, guys, this is a total rug. It had, I think it was like almost a $400 million market cap and the liquidity was over $10 million. The liquidity is now down to $6.8 million. You see all of this bot activity that's going on here. This is the bots. They're just making micro sells and buys and bleeding the liquidity out of this token. And meanwhile, you have people hodling. You have people like praying, crossing their fingers, thinking that Pepe is now a community token and it's going to revive and everything's going to be okay. It's late for Pepe. We know what's going on with Pepe. It's done. Okay, just to let you know, in my opinion, Pepe's done. I've never been paid by Pepe. I never took a token from Pepe. Just saying, Pepe's Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew. A skunk. It's a stinker. And that's going to do it here for me today. I appreciate you so very much for watching my channel. Oh, and by the way, if you don't mind, if you could like the video maybe and subscribe, that would be absolutely awesome. I didn't make videos for a little bit and they're threatening to demonetize my channel. So if you could help me, that would be great. Also, if you liked the background music in the video, could you please let me know? It's the first time I used it and I'm not sure if it how I feel about it. So if you could let me know if it was distracting to you or if it was like a nice little addition, I would greatly appreciate that. Well, that's going to do it here for me today. I appreciate you for joining me. And until next time, please take care of yourself and only buy on those red candles.